Okay, the next section that we're going to talk about today is the content section of the Mobirise sections. So we have content here, we're leaving behind the media elements, and then we're coming down to the content elements. So you can see there are three different content blocks that we have here. The first one you can see has an icon or an image over a heading, some text, and a call to action button. Here we have everything except for the icon or image element above. So if you just wanted to display some text. And then the last one is a full width block of content or text with a heading and then a little block of text, and it comes kind of predefined with a background image. And so let's go through first using this particular content block, very common, and you can see that it brings up a 4 across with 4 different icons here. Now these icons don't have to be icons, they can actually be images, and I'll show you how to do that as well. We have a list of headings, we have a little bit of a text, maybe an intro text, and then we have something for learning more. So maybe you want to have them click through different sections or different silos or different departments in your organization. This would be a really good place for that. So let's take a look at a block parameters. First, we can choose to show an overarching header for the section. We can also show a subheader, so you can see that it's centered by default, but you can actually make that left or right if you wanted to. Same with this. You can choose to make it left or right. So you could have all of this left aligned if you wanted. But it comes with some predefined styles, even though you can make those changes. So you can show that, or you can hide both of those. You can show the images, or you can hide the images. You can show the titles, or you can hide the titles. You can show the captions. This is what they're calling a caption. This text here, they're calling a caption. And then lastly, you can show or hide the buttons. So let's turn those default things back on. You can choose anywhere from 2 to 6 columns. So you can see here that as you choose more columns across, you get less space here, and you get a smaller image as well. And then if you were to choose 2 columns, you can see that the images are pretty big, and then you also have quite a bit more space for some written text. You could also add more buttons underneath, so that is also an option as well. Let's look at our other parameters. You can choose a background image for this block section. Again, you just click on this image here in order to make a change to the background. You can also add an overlay like that, so you have kind of a nice little faded background. You can see here that there's a parallax effect, which is turned on and off right here. And then if you wanted to choose a background color, which is where you are when this block is first put on, you can change the color. That'd be nice. A nice little yellow would go good with these blues. And then you could also choose a background video. So there's a video back here, and again, like all the other videos, you cannot see it. It will not start inside of the Mobirise editor. You'll have to preview it in the browser and wait for it to load, but it will automatically load and show in the background. If that's something you want to do, you can change the opacity of that. You can see that there is something in the background. You could also change the color, so if you did want that to be a colorized version of whatever your image or video is in the background. And so let's put it back to a color that's really bright. Let's go back to white, or maybe a nice off gray, which would set it off from what's above. And then when you preview it in the browser, that's what you see. You see a nice little 2 up. Each of these can be a link. This is an image. These are the headings. And the way that you make the change here is, again, you get an image or a video choice. So if you choose video, again, you can put your video link in there. So I've obviously taken that off. Again, same dialog box that you've gotten before. Or you can choose to input a new image. So let's say I have some icons here. Let's see if I can get to those very quickly. Here's a few of them. So let's say we just want to add this. You can make this link somewhere. So you can link it to a different page, link it to the About page. You could open it in a new window or a new browser. Again, here's the alt tag and the title tag information. And then when you put that in there, you can see that when I hover over it, it is a link and it will be going to the About page. And that is how easy it is. So it's cool to add icons in here. It would also be interesting to go ahead and add real photographs. I've done that before on a couple of demo sites. So let's see. Let's grab this one. So you can actually put a full image in there, and then if you got this down to 6, you could see that it makes the image quite a bit smaller. But if you're using an icon, that would certainly make the icons a little bit more useful, or a little more useful to use icons, just because you'll be able to see them a little better, because it is going to make the aspect ratio shrink all the way down for an image. So my suggestion would be, if you're going to do many across, that you would do icons, or you would do some sort of stylized illustration, especially something that is square. And then if you're going to do images, that you would make this 2 or 3. That way you can actually see some of the detail in the images. But that is the content block of the icons and the 3 across. Now if we look at this one, we're getting the same thing. So this is the same block as this one. You can see this block here. This is the same block, it's just with some predefined things. So you can see here that the images have not been shown. The header is not shown. Titles are shown. And then it's got it set out to 5 columns instead of the format of 3 that this one starts out, or 4 that this one starts out with. So the same options exist for this column, or this block, and for this block. It's just that when you click this, this is what the predefined elements are going to look like. And then when you click this one, it already has these things turned on for you. So you can get to the same place. You don't have to redraw or re-drag these blocks. You can just go through and recreate the block parameters by not showing the images and showing the titles, but not the buttons. So now you can see that I actually have the same thing going on between both of them. It's just that one started out in one way and one started out a different way. So that is the columned content blocks, and this again is under the content section on the right hand panel for dragging in the content blocks. And the next video we'll take a look at this full width content block that we can use with the parallax background, or with a colored background, or a video background. So join me for that one next.